are exporting some of the biggest loads of coal and gas out of this country of any other country on the planet. So we have a moral obligation to stop this. We are exporting climate change. We must stop it now. And if Equinor get their way, and if the current government get their way, we'll also potentially be one of the biggest exporters in the world of oil, which is absolutely disgusting. We have a moral obligation to stop the expansion of the fossil fuel industry. We have a moral obligation to the rest of the planet to hold our elected leaders responsible for stopping exporting climate change, because that's what our country is doing. This is a disgusting secret that has been well kept from most of us for a long time, but it's time that we tell all of our friends, our family, the truth about what is going on in our country. We are exporting climate change on a global scale, and it must stop.
So what brings you here today?
I'm here to protect this Great Australian Bight and to protect the planet from further climate change. I don't know how many rallies you've been to, but often the singing and the chanting gets kind of dull. So we've set up a climate action singing group called Rise Up Singing, and our mission is to be present at all these events to lighten the mood, to make it a bit interesting, to provide some interesting songs, give people a chance to join in. We don't have high standards of singing, we're not a choir, we're just a community singing group concerned about the future of the planet.
We're here to show our support to prevent oil from getting into the Bight and ruining our beautiful pristine waters and our beautiful coastlines. Yeah.
What do you think the holding hands and paddling to the oceans means?
I believe the meaning is to show that communities and support and basically showing that all of us are in this together. And if we don't sort of hold hands and look after each other and look after this world, then there's not going to be anything left. So we have to support each other and be together so we can save everything. One thing mermaids always say is always pick up your rubbish at the beach.
Yes.
So if you find rubbish at the beach, please pick it up and put it in the bin where it belongs. I know there's a lot of really great places here in Adelaide that when divers go diving, they collect the rubbish too and get rid of it, which is really good. So and recycling, always recycle, because that is really, really good too. Make sure you put everything in the recycling bin that you can. That also very much helps. Those are just sort of everyday things that a lot of people can do, which is good.
Yes.
So, obviously the Great Australian Bight is a unique ecosystem, which is nowhere else in the world is like it. There's many marine sanctuaries within the Great Australian Bight, especially along the coastlines. It's a breeding ground for a lot of endangered and rare species, such as the Australian sea lion, obviously the southern right whale, humpback whales go through there, blue whales go through the Great Australian Bight, orcas, grey eye sharks obviously too, which are endangered. So there are a lot of very unique creatures there, which we actually don't know the full impact of what will happen, because we haven't studied all these animals properly. And if we let them drill or even do seismic testing, which has been proven to kill animals, turtles, dolphins, whales, that if something happens, which there's a likelihood that it can happen, and it's just not worth doing, because if we destroy something that has been there for so long in such a, and humans have been in such a short amount of time, it would just be catastrophic for the environment.
I saw a lot of people bring their kids today. Do you think passing the message to the next generation is important?
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
I think kids, more so than a lot of adults, are really taking this seriously.
Yeah.
Schools are doing, children from schools are doing strikes for climate change and all that sort of stuff. So the message is definitely getting out there, and that's really coming through in the younger generation.
Yeah, and we need to teach our kids to teach the next generation so that they don't spoil it and the stuff that we have done gets fixed.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the next generation. They're really standing up because they know that they're going to be taking over the world in the future, and they want it to be good for everyone, and I love that.
We're a bit squished here.
Mostly it's about the whales. I really am concerned for the migratory whales going through the Great Australian Bight, and I don't want them to be disturbed by the drilling and the seismic testing. I don't want them to chase the whales away, basically. And I think just by bringing kids to the beach and getting out in parks and getting into nature, they learn to love the environment. It's just the way we're raised here in South Australia. We just spend lots of time in the environment and really love it. So yeah. I think that holding hands is about community and like coming together. Normally in our society we're pretty individualistic, but then when it comes to protecting things that we love, we can come together and hold hands. And I think the paddle out is about showing that if push comes to shove, there are a lot of people who could potentially blockade the oil rig from being towed out to the Great Australian Bight. It would be quite easy to blockade the oil rig as it comes from Port Adelaide or a similar place. Right. So with the thousands of people, I think, there's definitely a potential for direct action if it comes to that. I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope they just quit before then. Well, at the minute, because I'm a mother, I don't have a lot of capacity to sort of work in the community or things like that. So I'm just working on my personal imprint. I just go to the farmers market and try and work on our carbon emissions and things like that, and buy just like compostable things, compostable nappies for my daughter and stuff. At the minute I'm just working on my own things because I'm looking after Beatrix, but eventually I hope to do more in the community as well when she's older.
Culture that we have in Australia, the longest living culture in the history of humankind, is, I think, the most incredible culture in the world. Their connection with their land and their interaction with each other is a true testament to what we can really accomplish. And we've really got a lot to learn, I think, from this culture in the 21st century here. I think every one of us, with the world moving the way it is, it's good to look back sometimes and look at this beautiful culture and really realise that to be connected with the land is so important. It's integral for us moving forward into the future.